guys, it's Morgan with The Life in Crafting, and today I'm sharing 5 Dollar Tree lemon DIYs. These DIYs each cost under $5 to make and use mostly items from Dollar Tree. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now let's get to crafting. My first DIY uses this cutting board that I picked up at Dollar Tree during Easter. I'm using my Cricut scraper tool to remove these little silver tacks that are on the piece. It was a little difficult at first, but after I got the first one down, I figured out how to do it and it was smooth sailing from there. This is one of those pieces from Dollar Tree that I thought was super unique, so I picked up a few of them to have for DIYs throughout the year, so stay tuned for more DIYs featuring this cutting board. I did not want to try to spray paint it or paint it, so I thought the best way to cover it would be with some scrapbook paper. I picked up this lemon scrapbook paper from Michael's, and I'm using a little bit of Mod Podge to attach it. Next up, I'm going to add a decal that I cut out with my Cricut. I'm using the Dollar Tree contact paper. I'll add a link in the description to a video I did testing out all the new Dollar Tree Crafter Square products. I really like this transfer tape. I think it's very easy to use, it's not too sticky, and I really am a fan of the lines. I've been using the Dollar Tree Magic cover as transfer tape, and I definitely appreciate the grid. I did not know what I was missing. I'm attaching it just to a piece of white cardstock that I had, and I wanted to make sure that it lined up correctly, so I was using it for that. I didn't scrape too hard. I did not want to rip up the scrapbook paper, and it worked pretty well, did not have any issues. This was the first time I used vinyl on paper, and it was a lot better than I thought. I'll definitely be using it in the future. I'm taking some foam mounting tape and attaching the top piece of cardstock to the lemon one. I'm a big fan of their foam mounting tape. I always have a roll or two in my stash. It's also great for card making, and it's great because it's pre-cut into sizes. You don't need any scissors with it, and it's a lot less expensive than the 3M foam tape. Going to line it up to make sure it's placed where I want it, and this DIY is complete. A super easy DIY to kick off your lemon decor. Next up, I'm using a piece that I've been holding on to since Christmas. I'm going to cut off the jute at the top with a pair of scissors, and I'm going to use another piece of that beautiful lemon scrapbook paper from Michael's. I'm just going to trace it out with a pen and use a pair of scissors to cut it out. Once it's all cut out, I'm going to use some Mod Podge to attach it to the back of the jar. Again, I didn't want to sand it or worry about repainting the front, so I like switching these types of pieces and just working off the back. Once it's dry, I'm going to take some hot glue and add some jute to the top. and just wrap it around. The Dollar Tree jute is another item that I definitely keep in my stash. I always end up using it in a lot of projects, and it's just great to have on hand. Am I even working on a DIY if I don't use these craft clams? Really big fan of these. Now it's time to assemble. I'm using some more of that foam mounting tape and using the back of the lemon scrapbook paper. It has like a light green polka dot look to it, and I thought it would complement the lemons really nicely. So I cut out a piece with my Cricut, just a normal rectangle, and going to add some galvanized metal text on it from Dollar Tree. These medals I picked up from Dollar Tree, and they come in two different packs. One has the first half of the alphabet, and the second one has the second half of the alphabet. So make sure you grab enough packages of each. I didn't realize this, so I have a lot of Z's and not enough A's. I've done a couple DIYs with these galvanized letters. I most recently used them in a 4th of July wreath that I made. I'll add a link in the description to that video as well so you can check it out. The finishing touch on this is going to be a burlap ribbon I also picked up from Dollar Tree. I've seen them in this tan color, red, and I think pink, and a nice little embellishment piece to have in your stash. Last but not least, I'm adding a straw. This one had a little sloth on it, but I picked it off and just going to hot glue it to the back. I thought it was a cute, whimsical accent to this mason jar piece. These family signs are brand new to Dollar Tree, and I was super excited to find them. I took off the top part, which was really easy to do, and I'm spray painting it black. While it's drying, I cut out a piece of that lemon scrapbook paper and applying a thin layer of Mod Podge to the base and just going to insert the scrapbook paper. I've seen these signs that say family, gather, and I think relax, and I picked up a few of these because they're just great to have on hand for simple DIYs like this. Just add a little hot glue to reattach it, and this DIY is complete. Super easy and a great craft that you can finish under 5 minutes. Next up, I'm making a little lemonade display. The first thing I'm doing is painting this crate I got from Dollar Tree. I have a shade of yellow in a Decor art paint. I cut out this 25-cent sticker with my Cricut and just attaching it to a chalkboard pick from Dollar Tree. This was the right size for me, and I'm just going to break off that little skewer at the end. I've had this lemon ribbon from Dollar Tree for quite a while, and I'm glad to finally be putting it to use. It's really adorable, and these little ribbons that they have are great, and it's nice just for $1 to have on hand. Definitely recommend checking out their ribbon section that they usually put near their floral. I'm gonna attach this with a little bit of hot glue. This jar is a repurposed Starbucks Frappuccino cup. I spray painted it white from a previous DIY and then added some of that Dollar Tree jute. And these are great to put faux floral in or to decorate with. I'm going to hot glue some reindeer moss on there. I like using reindeer moss to cover up my little foam pieces. Adding another straw because I have the whole package, so why not add it? Last but not least, adding a lemon I picked up from Dollar Tree, and this DIY is complete. These metal wall hangers at Dollar Tree were a super rare find, and I'm so happy to be able to find them. I cut out this lemonade decal with my Cricut, and I'm using that same Dollar Tree transfer tape to attach it to the front. I did have a little bit of a hard time removing the label from the front of the metal wall hanger. In order to remove it, I ended up using a hairdryer and just scraped it off once I heated up the label, and that seemed to work nicely. Next, I'm taking this Dollar Tree moss sheet and cutting it. My goal is to put it on the inside, so instead of seeing the metal inside, you'll see this green moss sheet. I'm using the Dollar Tree X-Acto knife to cut it out. It wasn't exactly the sharpest X-Acto knife in my craft stash, but it worked pretty well. I did have to go through and trim up some tougher pieces with scissors, but I'm not sure if that's an X-Acto knife issue or the moss sheet issue. Now I'm just going to attach it with some hot glue. Want to make sure I have a lot in there so it doesn't come out. To secure these little lemons inside, I'm adding more of those Dollar Tree foam blocks. Even though this is, I think technically for adding water to floral, I like these better than the larger rectangles because they're already pre-cut, so it's one less step I have to do. I picked up these mini lemons from Joann's, and they work out really well if you're able to pick them up with a coupon. Check out the finished product. Super happy with all of my lemon DIYs. I hope you enjoyed this video on 5 Dollar Tree lemon DIYs. I'm Morgan with The Life in Crafting. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.